welcome to American Strongman Radio, home of the American Strongman Corporation and the North American Strongman Incorporated. I was corrected by the El Jefe from last week. I'm Brian Hildebrand from Lubbock, Texas, coming to you from Grumpy Pants Studios in Lubbock, Texas. And I'm joined by the North American Strongman Premier Lightweight Athlete, Kalle Beck. You're broadcasting from home to the gym this week. And is home in Monterey too?
It's in a Carmel Valley, so it's about 15 miles inland, so it's sunny. Not quite next to the beach, but a lot nicer weather.
It's so it's in that low rent district, right?
Oh no.
No, I'm very familiar with the entire area there where the gym is and where you live, and it's beautiful there. Very beautiful. How much acreage?
Nice view of I'm on like 3 acres, but then there's no neighbors around me, and I butt right up to a state park, so
nice.
You know, I got a nice view of nothing but oak trees.
Nice. Yeah, I have a view of dirt and some more dirt. There's dirt in the air, dirt on the ground. Yeah, dirt. No, it's not bad. We've got a great little house here, built in the 40s, been completely remodeled, and it's got lots of older trees around it that they planted, and so I don't mind it. It's not bad, and we live in a great little neighborhood called Tech Terrace. We've got a ton of stuff to get through. Tonight's guest will be the immensely popular American Strongman Corporation pro Robert Oberst. We're going to talk to him about what it's like to be a sponsored athlete with a major nutrition company and the pitfalls and the benefits of that. He's going to help you guys better understand what you can do to position yourself for similar opportunities in the future. Kalle, you posted a great picture of. I like the pink T-shirts, by the way. I don't know whose choice that was, but I like the pink T-shirts.
That was Dion's choice.
Yeah, it's because she's a girl. She doesn't get it.
That was at the Dallas Europa. She made us all wear pink shirts.
Yeah, that was a year that Obi won his pro card, right?
That was the show that Obi won his pro card, so that they made him wear a pink shirt. Kind of destiny.
But you had posted if you have any.
Gonna win.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Dimitar gave him a run. I mean, they were tied going into the final event, and Robert just had quicker feet in with him than Dimitar in the medley. So it was the second day was a good show. And
Korean also almost won at that show too.
Who?
It was real close between all three of them. Chad Korean. He's he's like, he's one of those lightweights that's like 265, real strong.
Yeah. He's
coming off like a quad tear. He's just starting to get back at it now.
Good.
I wouldn't be surprised if he goes pro soon.
Good. That's good to know. And that's kind of the purpose of the show, kind of skipping ahead for a minute, but that's the purpose of the show, is to get information and get athletes exposure that maybe you've never heard of, but you have a lot in common with, and not just, tonight's guest, most everybody in the ASC and the NAS knows who he is, and but the goal is to get just your average everyday guy, people that have the wind up third place maybe 2 years in a row, who really are on the brink of making it big and getting their story out there and finding out what it took for them to get where they're at, and what it is that's pushing them to get that much further. But getting back on point, you asked people to post any questions that they had for Robert, and we got some really funny ones, pie being my favorite one. And I'm hoping
I'm sure he'll have a lot to say on pie.
I hope so. I am an immensely huge fan of pie, so we will definitely have some discussion. And then I apologize for my cough. It is still lingering.
All that dirt.
It is. It's exactly what it is. It's dirt and all the trees and all the pollen. I'm drinking schnapps to try and settle it down and make me feel a little better. But I'm hoping that the discussion continues about Robert pulling the donut out of his beard. I'm hoping we get more stories like that from you guys.
He might pull another one. We never know.
We won't know. He's going to be on the phone with us, so if we hear him chewing, we'll have to ask where he got his food from. So I'm going to ask you this question. Answer honestly. What do you think the response has been so far after the first show?
I think it's been great. We just posted it. It kind of leaked this morning because you put it up last night, and I think we're planning on putting it on Wednesday. But of course, I logged in through my Facebook to make my SoundCloud account, and I clicked like on it, and then people found it. And I might as well just give it to them already. So I was happy. We got a good amount of views so far. A lot of people sharing it. I got over a dozen messages. People saying that they liked it, and thanks for doing this. So
yeah,
I think for our initial burst, it's going up in a good start. We're only going to get better from here.
Yeah, I completely agree. I've had a lot. I've had a lot of coughing, but besides the coughing, I've had a lot of good feedback from people saying they really liked it. They liked the idea. Dion even said that she liked the positivity of the show and the direction it's clearly going to go, and she was very impressed and very, very happy with what we did. So go ahead and pat yourself on the back there. The boss said we did okay.
I guess that's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. Your audio quality obviously has improved from last week.
Yeah, I got this nice $100+ microphone that weighs about 5 pounds, so
yeah,
I want to make sure we actually make a good show.
Yeah. Now we got to work on your Wi-Fi connection, but you're in a valley, you're in California, anything's bound to happen there.
Yeah.
But we'll get there, slowly but surely.
I can't leave the house today, but yeah, we'll get it together.
There we go.
Time.
And more importantly, happy belated birthday to you.
I know, I'm trying to get as old as you are. Thank you.
Good luck. Remember, you were born the year I graduated from high school.
Yeah, I feel pretty old, but yeah, we had a fun time. My wife and some of our, my family and some of the friends from the gym CrossFit Monterey came out. I live in the valley, which is, like I said, 15 miles inland, which most people in Monterey consider the middle of nowhere.
Right.
We went about 25 minutes up into the hills, which is the middle of nowhere. People don't understand. California is pretty redneck too. They think it's all Hollywood, but no, there's a lot of backwoods towns. There's a really cool restaurant out there called the Kashawa General Store. It's literally in a general store that used to be like a Hell's Angels hangout in the middle of nowhere.
I know. I know what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Kashawa?
Yeah, well, actually, no. The Food Network visited that place when they were talking about Napa Valley and kind of the whole area. Yeah, they went there, and I'm a big Food Network guy, so I know exactly where you went. Was it good? Good meal?
Yeah, well, it's my favorite restaurant. I haven't been there in a while, but it's basically an eccentric chef. He's like a 5-star French-trained chef that just lives in the middle of nowhere, and he says, "I'm going to put on a dinner one day a week, and if you're willing to drive out here, you're going to get it exactly what I want." And they bone marrow and beef tartare, and I had a 24-ounce pork shoulder.
Oh yeah.
with a pineapple glaze. So it was a good night.
Yeah, no kidding. Anytime you put together beef tartare and bone marrow together in the same sentence, it's a good time. I don't care who you are, where you're at. Yeah, we last time I was in Seattle.
Bottles of wine, which I only.
Say that again? You cut out for a second.
Got a little drunk. Had a couple bottles of wine as well, and about half a glass does me in, so it was fun.
Nice. Well, last time Seattle's home for me, and last time Sally and I were there, I took her to one of my favorite places to eat, a place called Mastro's, and I said, be prepared. It's kind of this 1940s gangster-style restaurant with mink-lined booths and big open air where they have a pianist and sometimes a singer that will stand down in the middle of the room, and then it's kind of a bowl shape where the way the restaurant is set up, and it's a really cool concept. And the food is absolutely amazing. And so I made the mistake. I hadn't eaten there in a long time, and I forgot. She got bone marrow. I swear the bone came from like a brontosaurus or something. It was the biggest thing. It was ginormous. And I got beef tartare. The beef tartare apparently was meant to share, and I didn't realize that. It was 16 ounces of beef tartare. So that's what we started with. And then we ordered fillets on top of that. It was just, forget it. We were stuffed.
Yeah, my dogs are fighting over the bones right now. It's pretty much just it's like a huge cow femur bone that they just split in half and drizzle,
Right.
truffle oil and wild mushrooms, and really beat that.
Yeah, you and I are going to get along just fine. We eat the same kind of food, so it's a very, very important aspect of our relationship. There's a couple things I want to do every week. Actually, I wanted to talk about real quick your Starting Strongman group on Facebook. How's that? It looks like it's progressing pretty well. It stays busy.
Yeah, there's good discussion every day. Not too much negativity for the most part. I figure people follow by example. So even if people ask questions you've heard 100 times, they've never got an answer for it. So that's the whole point. Is it's starting strongman, so you're gonna have to deal with those kind of questions and be nice.
Right.
There seems to be about 30 to 100 new people asking to join every day.
Nice.
So pretty much my day consists of accepting new members.
Cool.
Accept. Every time I check my phone, there's a couple of them.
Nice. Well, good.
I check it frequently. I have
Well, no doubt it's going to be successful. I mean, it's growing, and there's a lot of great discussions happening there. So if you haven't found it, Starting Strongman on Facebook, look for it. Kay will deny you or accept you. Have you denied many people?
Well, the people that pretty much have like whatever Deanable in their name or something that that they're just going to spam you.
Yeah.
I can spot those pretty good right now, but sometimes they slip through, and then I end up having to block people that just post pictures of like where to buy Nikes in Thailand or something. But that's going to happen anytime you have a group of your members.
Right.
People are going to try to do that.
Well, I apologize for this coughing. It's driving me up a freaking wall. What were you going to say, Kel?
Oh, just I haven't actually had to block anyone for any real person that wasn't just spamming, so that's a good thing.
That is good.
Being pretty positive in there, and just helping out and sharing their own feats of strength, and them how to make equipment, where they bought equipment, just that's what it's all about. We all like to share our toys and our accomplishments, and answer some questions along the way, and everyone gain knowledge and progress the sport.
That's all that matters. I've got actually one of our, and I got to look it up because I can't remember his last name because I thought it was somebody else. One of our listeners just contacted me today after listening to the show and found out that I live in Lubbock, Texas. He just moved here. His wife is involved with the volleyball program at Texas Tech University, and that's why they moved here. I'm going to pull it up here. It was Jay Kearney. He is living here, so I'm sure he and I told him where I train. If you want a 1980s throwback stinky hole in the wall, that's where I train. And so we're inevitably, Jay and I will wind up getting together, having a beer or training or something, and that'll be good. And there's a couple of guys in the region as well, and I'm looking forward to getting together with everybody and training a bit, because living out here a little isolated, I don't train with anybody at all. Not pretty. Yeah, I know the feeling. I had a similar thing. Some guy was asking about, he's actually going to do the contest, which I'm going up to. I have a couple athletes competing. I'm still rehabbing my back, so I'm not going to compete in it. Plus, it's an unsanctioned show, so no real point. But he was saying that he only has a 200-pound stone, and that those stones go up to 360, and he's not sure what to expect. And I looked, and he actually lives in Monterey, so I'm like, well, why don't you come over tomorrow? I got some 300-plus pound stones in my garage. So, it's pretty cool that you got a resource out there that people are finding and connecting like that, because, like you said, you live in the middle of nowhere, and you'd want to find any friend that's interested in this stuff at all, for sure. Yep. Even if you're just going to have a beer with them. Yep. Or do some deadlifts or both. Yeah, exactly. I was trying to remember, there was somebody on Starting Strongman, Rodney, and I'm drawing a blank to his last name. He and I actually got together and trained. He lives down in Midland, which is he lives down about 2 hours from me. He's a type 1 diabetic, and that's how we met. Was kind of talking about strength powerlifting and that kind of stuff. Only because part of that's my background. Anyway, we talked about that and actually got together and trained at a Gold's Gym down there in Midland. And I hadn't seen him in a while, and he popped up and on your Facebook page, and so he contacted me, and he's got all of the equipment, so I'll probably go down there and train, hopefully sometime this summer, a couple times, and it'll be a good time, really good time.
Nice, yeah, he's a good guy. I met him in Nationals.
Yeah, he is a good guy. He's I didn't recognize him when I first saw him. He was talking to me. He's got a long ass beard now that he never had before. He had a baby face, and that's why I didn't recognize him right away. And then I went to his page and found him.
He also lost like 30 pounds too.
Yeah. Let's. I know what I want to do. I want to touch on this real quick. Two things that we're going to do every week. You have on startingstrongman.com. You have a list of gyms that are strongman savvy and strongman. What's the word I'm looking for? They actually like us. Don't mind us training there.
Yeah.
And you had somebody specific you wanted to start this week with.
Yeah, on startingstrongman.com, I started it, I think around October. I just started compiling a list of all the gyms that have some semblance of strongman equipment in them, just to make it in one location. Today, I just want to feature a gym down in Torrance, California. A guy named Julian runs it, StrongFit. You can find it at strongfit.com. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like CrossFit, but he's a serious 231 lightweight competitor. He's training for the San Jose Platinum Plus to try to get his pro card right now,
which is in June.
So it's a legit strongman gym. They have their powerlifting coach in there's like 70, and he's still competes, pulls I think close to 4, weighing 160 pounds.
Wow.
He's 70 years old. So if there's a 7-year-old powerlifter that's still training, you can learn something there. So if you're down in Southern California, check it out. And it also caters to CrossFitters as well. They have a lot of CrossFitters going there. I think they have the girl who got third in the world goes up there every weekend, to benefit their training as well. So if you do CrossFit, go up there. It's a nice little. They'll introduce you into strongman and maybe switch you over. So check it out.
That's cool. We'll have to check them out. Torrance, California, right?
Yep.
I want to talk about, we also talked about sharing, recognizing companies, whether they manufacture products, equipment, apparel, food, nutrition, whatever that supports Strongman. I'm going to start with probably the online source that I utilized more than anything else when I first started in Strongman specifically, in the mid to late 90s. And that's ironmind.com. Dr. Strossen has been kind of a mainstay in strongman media for years and years and years, and he is the source for anything international, primarily Olympic lifting, strongman, strength activities, and Highland Games. You can find information on ironmind.com about any of that stuff. And he's actually, we gathered all the information we needed to about one of the topics we're going to talk about tonight, the MHP Strongman Champions League and the Arnold Brazil, both taking place at the same venue, at the same time, 2 different payouts and 2 different prizes, but I found all that information on ironmind.com. So if you have a chance, go check them out, support them. Drawing traffic to their website is the best way you can support them, because it shows their advertisers that there are people interested in coming in to read, and they've got lots of equipment. They actually have a really cool piece of equipment they were advertising for about $700. It's made out of aluminum. It'll support 700 pounds, and it's a pair of stanchions that are attached at the bottom, but you can take the tops off of them and make them essentially jack stands. You can take that portion off the top and put in handles to do dips, and then you can put another setup over the top and take that out, put another setup, and it'll support a 300-pound man to do full pull-ups on it as well. So it's kind of a neat piece, and it's small, so something you can definitely put in your home gym, and takes the place of 3 different pieces of equipment made of aluminum, so not terribly heavy, probably reasonably priced to ship as well. But you can find that in some other unique products, especially in the grip arena at ironmind.com.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. It says it weighs 32 pounds total.
That's a steal. That's super lightweight.
Yeah.
Considering you're getting 3 pieces of equipment. Tonight's guest, the one and only, Robert Oberst. Let's get him on the phone.
He's gonna be cranky.
Say that again?
He's gonna be cranky. I told him 10 minutes.
Yeah, he's used to me being late. This is radio. This is recorded radio. We're not live. We don't have an engineer and a producer. And make sure I got the right phone number here. Let's add him to our group call. Let's see if we can get him on the phone. So you know it's live because you can hear it ringy dingy. He's probably. Did you tell him I was calling, or did you tell him you were calling?
Yeah, I told him you're calling.
Obi.
Hey.
There you are. How are you, buddy?
Good. Who's in Palmdale?
Palmdale. It's because it's Skype. Skype has a California number that whenever I call, that's the number that's the area code that comes up.
No, I was gonna say I didn't know whether you guys were ghetto enough to hang out in Palmdale.
Big runner around down there. How are you doing, buddy?
Good. How you guys doing?
That's all right. I'm going to apologize in advance for my cough. I've got the West Texas tickle that won't go away.
I think you always have something, right? Every time I've ever talked to you, it's like it's either been a cough or that flare-up you had with that thing you went to the doctor about. I remember we were talking about.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it's living here in this shithole of dirt festival. The Weather Channel calls Lubbock, Texas, the worst weather in the nation, and that includes Alaska, North Dakota, Maine, everything, because we get temperature swings of it'll be mid-80s during the day and it'll go down to mid-20s at night. It'll be 52 the next day and then 46 that night, and then we'll get a thunderstorm come in the next afternoon, and then you get a week of 100-degree weather. It's just freaking crazy here because we get the ebb and flow of the cold air from the Rockies and the warm air from the Gulf of Mexico, and it sucks.
Are you guys up in the Panhandle?
Yeah, if you drew a line between Albuquerque and Oklahoma City and came down 45 degrees in each direction, that's where we're at. So we're about 3.5 hours south of the Oklahoma border, the Panhandle part of Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. Are you guys kind of by West Texas A&M?
West Texas A&M isn't here. I think it's down in Midland, maybe. We're at Texas Tech University. Texas Tech University is here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I can guarantee one thing you're going to learn on this show. You're going to learn a lot about Lubbock, Texas.
Not on purpose. So what's new in the life of Obi? First of all, we got a lot to cover, and we're live, by the way. We're live.
Thanks for telling me that before I started saying stuff.
Well, it was conversation. Conversation's important. Shows that we have camaraderie, and that this isn't just a canned phone call.
Good.
Kalle doesn't write checks for you to be his friend or anything.
He's saying he's writing checks?
I said Kalle's not writing you a check to be his friend.
I'll let you know of.
True, you got a good point. I never thought about it that way.
I pay him in other ways.
Yeah, he buys me food.
Oh, that's a fair enough trade-off right there. Food is always a good thing. All right, first I'm going to start with some listener questions since I've got them here in front of me. Are you ready for these? I want to keep these answers short and simple, but we're going to start off with something fun. What is your favorite? One of our fans, Ian Driscoll, he wants to know, what's your favorite pie? Pecan, strawberry, or cheesecake?
Cheesecake's not pie.
I agree.
But my favorite pie, he's got it right. It's pecan. I definitely love pecan pie. If it was pecan pie versus cheesecake, I gotta take the cheesecake.
Oh, no, you and I are compatible. We are brothers to the end. Pecan pie is the only pie as far as I care. I love pecan pie. I've stopped eating it as often.
I guess we got 3 guys here that all agree on pie.
There you go. So everybody listening.
So we all took one of those quizzes in Cosmopolitan.
If anybody wants to get us gifts for Christmas, pecan pie should be at the top of your list, obviously.
No, don't send me a freaking pecan pie because I can't eat it right now.
I wasn't worried about you. There's 3 of us here, remember?
Or send you some oxygen tanks.
Or some cough syrup or something. Taylor Weglicki. I know I'm going to screw that last name up. Weglicki. Weglicki. Taylor wants to know, what have you found to be one of the most important in developing yourself all around for a varied sport like strongman? Is there one, if you could, I guess I'm going to ask this question. If you had to define your training to a singular exercise, what do you think it would be?
Wow.
I know. There you go. I'm making you think outside your comfort zone.
Well, it's not. I mean, it's kind of like a really broad question. You want a really tight answer for it.
Yeah, that's right.
If you were going to just do one thing.
All right. I'll broaden your horizons. I'll give you 3. You get to do 3 exercises to train for World's Strongest Man next year. What are they going to be?
Well, that's pretty easy. If it's 3 of them, it's squat, shoulder press, and deadlift.
So
that's pretty simple. But if it was going to be just one, I'd say you want kind of like an all-around thing. So I'd say jazzercise.
I was going to say yoga, but jazzercise is a little more up-tempo, a little more fun.
Right, and with body weight and everything, honestly, I think you could probably do fairly well at World's Strongest Man if you jazzercise hard enough.
My question, Robert.
Put a Zumba down for me.
That's for the advanced jazzercisers. The advanced jazzercisers step out to Zumba.
My question for you is 2 parts then.
Okay, well, I'll wait on that.
My question is 2 parts. First, how often are you doing jazzercise per week, and do you exhibit jazz hands during class?
You definitely have to have the jazz hands to get into it, you know?
Nice.
I've been doing more of the buns of steel, trying to get tough and hard, you know, so I guess I jazzercise twice a week and I bun 4 or 5 times.
All right, I'm going to interrupt here. I'm going to apologize to all of our fans that just got a visual of Robert doing buns of steel. Just my apologies from American Strongman Radio.
I've got information for you, my friend.
So you switched from when we used to...
Your fans are excited to hear that.
Yeah. What were we going to say, Kalle?
When we used to train together, we used to do the Brazilian butt lift workout. So you switched from that now?
Yeah, it just wasn't challenging enough.
It's not a tall man's event. Brazilian butt work is for short people. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That makes sense. I'm going to give you one more.
Challenging with my ability. Go ahead. Yeah, we could say something. Go ahead.
I got one more question, and we're going to wrap this up. Taylor has another question. What is your weakest event, and what have you found that works best in bringing that event up?
First off, I hate that question because people always word that wrong. When you ask somebody what their weakest event is, honestly, I don't have a weak event. I do have an event that's lacking compared to other events.
Fair.
But I don't have a weak event. How many people in this world are there? And think about how many people of them can deadlift 500 pounds. So to say that something's weak, that's like it's a mindset thing that you have. That something that you have is weak, and for me, I don't have that mindset. Now, I want to improve on everything, and I do have an event that I think is lacking more than others, but I would never call it weak.
Sure.
So to answer the question that they really want to hear, my event that I feel is lacking in trying to be in a well-rounded strongman is definitely deadlift. And to improve I do deadlift. You know, I do tons of deadlifts. I actually deadlift right now twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
My hamstrings, I'm getting better. I heard it a little while ago. It's getting better, and I try and do like from the floor one day, and then rack pulls. I try and do as much hamstring work as I can on top of it.
Right.
Right now, lunges are basically what I can do, and it's definitely coming up a lot more.
Good. That's good to know. We can't have.
Yeah. So everybody, quit saying weak event. Quit it.
Lacking. Comparatively lacking.
Because your mind is the weakest event, and that's how you state it.
There you go. I'll take that. I'll take that.
It's what event you need to bring up the most. Not what's
Definitely.
weak.
There's just a billion ways you can word it. There's a billion ways you can word it, and everyone chooses to word it like that. And it's like, it's weird. It's like, it's just not how I see it. So I couldn't answer it like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, Kalle, what do you got for Robert? Enlighten me. Enlighten me about your guys' relationship. Tell me a good story.
Where it all began.
Well, I don't know. I want to go back that far. I don't want to know about hand holding and making out in the back seat or anything. What I want to know about is tell me a story that I'm not going to hear anywhere else.
Okay, I think the first time I met Obi, he was working as a bouncer at a club with someone I'd previously trained strongman with, Evan Hansman.
Sure.
We kind of didn't train for like a year or so together, and there was a show coming up that our friend Doug Carroll was running, and we all kind of carpooled up 2 hours that had trained to it for like a training day.
Right.
And he went up there. I think it was like the second time you've ever touched a strongman and implement, right, Obi? Like second or third training day.
It was the second time I'd ever done it. It was the first time I touched like a log or a yoke, because Evan didn't have those then.
Yeah, and you hit, I think it was 335 or 345 on the log.
340, yeah.
Just a meager 340.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So the whole trip back, it was like a 2-hour trip I spent trying to express to him how that's not common. Pick one up and press, what's a good pro number already. And I think your response was, well, what did the best in the world do? And I think Zadrunas had the record somewhere around like 450, 460 at that time. And you're like, oh, well, I need to get better then. Kind of, I think that experience right there shows a lot of how you've progressed so quickly. People say like, oh, he just got good, but it's more your mindset why you're able to get there is because you're not going to just rest on what your natural ability are. You're going to work to be one of the best in the world.
Yep. That's been the mindset since day one right there.
You're going to tell me that you have natural ability? Really?
The log loved me the first time I touched it.
I have a really dirty comeback for that, but I'm going to leave it alone and walk away.
Yeah.
What's
It's not as dirty as their love really is, though.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even want to know. I will tell you one of my first experiences, and I've told this story before. One of my first experiences with Obi, he had one. Actually, the picture that you posted today with you guys in pink T-shirts at the Dallas Europa, where Obi won his pro card. I interviewed him there, and then at America's Strongest Man, 2012. Robert and I were talking in the back before the show had started. The first event was the log press, and he says, "We're going to be talking again here pretty quickly." I said, "Why is that?" He says, "Because I'm going to win this event." And I said, "You get it, Obi." And I had never seen him press a log. I missed it at the Europa. And what's that?
We did an axle at the Europa.
At the Europa. But I'm saying I never saw you press anything. Period. I had never seen you press. So I'm standing by, and long story short, Robert breaks the American log press record without much difficulty. Mike Caruso gave you a run for your money up to the very end and just missed it, and you came and got it. And when we were done, it was like, I told you. It wasn't with cockiness. It was with matter-of-factness. It wasn't cocky at all. He knew he was going to win the event. He knew he couldn't be beaten, and he proved it. And he proved it to me. He didn't prove it to anybody else because he knew he was going to win. But he proved it to me, and that's what I appreciate about your humility. And I might as well use that word humility to bring up the next subject. There's an interesting video floating around out there released by MHP today with Brian Shaw. And I'm going to leave it up to you whether you want to discuss this or not and how you want to discuss it.
We can talk about it. Whatever. I mean, there might be certain things I don't want to say and certain things that I'll talk about. You can ask me anything you want, and I'll let you know if I feel comfortable.
No, I want to kind of get your overall feeling. Kale brought this up. I want to get your overall feeling as to, if you guys haven't seen the video yet, it's a pretty in-depth video with some training footage and competition footage and Brian speaking candidly to the camera. Mike Puccinella, who put the video together, is an awesome videographer and is able to coach people into telling really good stories. And I think that he really got Brian to open up about how he felt about current state of Strongman, Zydrunas Savickas, and how he felt he played into, kind of current affair. What is your take on what he had to say?
Choose my words wisely here. Look, I've been around both those guys a few times. Like, I'm really young in the sport, so it's not really right for me. I mean, if I was World Strongest Man and I had won the Arnold and all that, then I think I'd have a lot more leverage, leadway, or what I could say. And it's not that, But as who I am right now, and the way that came across to me, honestly, I thought that it was just it wasn't something I would have said. I'll say that. I mean, it wasn't something I would have done like that, in that manner at least. I don't think a lot of those things were ever spoken in private even. Brian's kind of he's kind of keep to himself kind of guy. I mean, he's nice and he'll talk to you, but he's not. He doesn't really share stuff like that often.
No.
It makes me wonder how they really got that out of him. The guy interviewing him must have done a great job, because when I was listening to it, I couldn't believe he was saying it. I couldn't believe that Brian is not one to talk like that. I mean, a lot of people think I talk too much, but Brian's not that at all. So. I thought he was honest about how he felt and where he was, and there's nothing wrong with being honest. There's just you can't fault him for being honest. It's really all I can say. That's how he feels, and I can say I feel that way sometimes, and other people might feel certain ways, but there's nothing wrong with what he said about that.
Kale, what's your thoughts on the video? I know that you saw it.
The same thing. I think it's interesting whether you agree or not. I think it's good that content like that's out there for Strongman. It's a 23-minute video with, like Obi saying, someone that you don't. Brian just kind of keeps to himself, and to actually get that much of him talking on how he feels on subjects is definitely interesting. And we'll be sure to put it up on the Facebook page so you guys can check it out yourself. It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, and I think it's actually posted on the Facebook page. I'm not positive. I was so busy this evening before we started recording. I'm not sure that I got it over there. But it's a really good interview. Like I said, Mike...
We'll repost it when this airs.
Yeah, that's true. Mike Pulcinella, who's the videographer, did the interviews. He's a really great guy. Very soft-spoken, very humble, but he's got a great intellect, and clearly got Brian to open up and talk in ways that I've never really heard him talk before,
And honestly, it's never a bad thing to have open rivalries in anything.
No.
So for a rivalry, I don't even know if it was sparked here or was before or whatever. I really don't know. But for the people to hear about a rivalry and for this video to put that out there, it's like East Coast, West Coast rap stuff that they made up back in the day. I mean, all it's going to do is bring more people to the sport, and I'm all for that. I mean, I love, especially with friends. Honestly, that's what I mostly like to do it with. But I'll go online and tell Andrew Palmer he's fat and he should shave, and then he'll come back and he'll tell me I'm ugly and his beard is better than mine, and that's what. And we love doing that. And that's one of my best friends right there. Him and I are great friends, but we like to do that just the trash talk to get ourselves into it and to get other people into it.
Right.
So it's never a bad thing to get kind of stuff like that put out there, I guess.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Well, it was in the East Coast, West Coast rap thing. I mean, 2 people ended up dead, but I don't think he's going to come over here and shoot from in or anything like that.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Tahoe in Vegas.
Yeah, rest in peace, Biggie and Tupac. Robert, let's talk about. I'm going to talk about Team Gap for a minute. I want to. You know, there's certainly something that we're going to talk about more in the future. Is sponsorships and companies that sponsor strength athletes. Most specifically with you, you know, a pretty major nutrition company. You know, through kind of, I mean, came to you and wanted to bring you on board. They didn't really know enough about the sport. I introduced you to them when we were in the Olympia at their booth, and they were just, you know, of course, just like I mean, you've met Rami. When you meet Rami, you're awestruck because the guy is just cartoonishly big. And they get a chance to meet you, and you're cartoonishly big in a different way. And then when they got a chance to see what you and the other athletes at America's Strongest Man were doing, they were blown away. And that's the kind of direct information that you can't pass that kind of information along to anybody unless they're there. And they saw it, bought it, signed you. How, first of all, what is it like working with any nutritional company, but what's it like working with GAT, photo shoots and traveling and girls and not girls, but traveling and their products? Kind of give me give me an idea of what it's like being a sponsored athlete versus a non-sponsored athlete.
Honestly, being sponsored is amazing, but being sponsored with a company like that, it's just it's above and beyond anything I thought. You know, when I first got into this, yeah, they take care of their athletes, and they've got just the greatest supplements. I mean, Kalle can tell you he used to make fun of me so much because I'm super picky about what supplements I take, and I would get boxes and boxes of free stuff from people, and I'd just give it to other people. I'd just be like, you know, thank you for sending it, but I'd give Kalle this or I'd give Evan that. And when I moved up here, I mean, I started just giving it away because I don't know, I'm super picky, and to be with GAT, like it's awesome because I take everything they have. I haven't had anything that I didn't like, you know. The first time I took the pre-workout, I wasn't expecting it to work as well as it did, but then I adjusted, you know. Working with them is awesome. I did a really cool photo shoot. Some of the pictures that are out right now, some of them are waiting to be dropped. They just look amazing. Doing a photo shoot it's its own thing, man. It was a week before the Arnold, and they had came out and I did. It was like 6.5, 7 hours. You know, just like here, squat down and stand like this and lean forward and flex these shoulders and do this and do that and do this and this, and then hold that for 5 minutes while you're like in a squatted stance. I'm 400 pounds, you know, and they're just expecting you to be able to do this like you're a little guy. But you know, at the end, the guys were awesome. The guys, the photos obviously look amazing. I haven't heard anything but praise. I mean, they look amazing, and you know, it's been a lot of fun and seeing all the stuff that they come out with. I mean, it seems like every day there's a different ad with a photo on it or a little quote or something. And Sally Ann, she's working a lot of the marketing stuff now. People aren't listening. Sally Ann is GAT's marketing director or marketing
she's the digital marketing manager for GAT.
There we go.
There it is.
The digital marketing manager, and she's awesome. She signed on and then immediately just went to work. It was like 2 seconds after being a part of the team, then all of a sudden we're just flooded with, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And, you know, my face is all over the place now. Every time I turn on my phone, I've got like 4 new ads with cool stuff and everything. And my mom gets all excited every time. She wants to call me and, hey, have you seen the thing? And, yeah. You know, so it's awesome. I mean, I'm truly grateful and to work with guys. I work with Anthony Fresciano, and he like actually truly cares about me. I when I was done at the Arnold and I hurt myself a few weeks later, he he hit me up and was just like, you know, I know you wanted to do this and do that, and I know you got hurt, and then he felt for me, and I was worried, you know, coming home. I was worried that, you know, I would have disappointed them or frustrated them because they've invested a lot in me, and it wasn't like that at all. It was they just wanted me to feel better. They wanted me to get better and to keep going, you know. And it was honestly, it's just one of the biggest blessings that I've had in this career. You know, is finding God and being introduced by you, Brian. You know, and you know, I'm just truly grateful for what's come of it.
Good. I'm glad. And the primary reason is just for all the reasons that you said. You know, with my former employer, they were an advertiser. Gav was an advertiser with them. And Sally Ann and I would meet with them on occasion, or we have phone conferences with them to talk about advertising and the things that we could do for them. But I mean, they were genuinely nice people that took the time to, you know, to ask how we were, how things were with us, take a personal interest before we got into business. And it was, and it's refreshing because I mean, it's a huge market, but it's still pretty cutthroat. And to still have that kind of personal touch is great. And Sally Ann couldn't be happier with them. She's working harder now than she did before. She has more responsibilities, but she loves working every day and really likes what she's doing. And and you do me a favor, drop me your mom's email address. We'll make sure that Sally Ann sends every time she releases something, she'll send it directly to her.
Okay, awesome. And Sally's good at what she does. You know, it's not just that she's just doing a bunch more. You know, she's good.
Yeah.
You know, she comes up with a lot of the stuff that you see. You know, she picks the pictures, she puts the quotes together, she matches this and that, and she's phenomenal at what she does.
Yeah, she is. She's very, very good. Where did I learn everything from? I learned it from her. I'm certainly not this smart by myself. She's brought me into the fold. So I will make sure she listens to this interview. She loves you, so and no disrespect to your wife, but she really likes you a lot. So it makes it fun, I guess, for her to help promote you and help promote the company she works with. And the interest, I guess the coolest part about it all is that the fan interest is huge. And that's the most important thing. If it's not received well by the fans, then does it really matter? But the fans really like you and like the concept and like the idea, and so it's a win-win-win for everybody. I'm excited and very happy.
Yeah. It actually it worked out. I think better than everyone expected. I'd hoped that it was going to be good and taken well, and it just exploded. You know, all of a sudden it just erupted into this big thing. You know, that my following just grew so much, and everything. Honestly, a lot of that has to do with what they did, and a lot of it has to do with what I do. You know, it's like a perfect match. Like, it was just amazing the way everything came together. I couldn't have asked for it to be any better. So, you know, I think they're happy with it. I'm extremely happy with it.
Right.
It's just perfect.
I'm excited and I'm happy for all of you. Kalle, you got anything else for Robert?
Yeah, I think it's definitely nice that a nutrition company will not only sponsor a strongman or a strength athlete, but then actually put an emphasis on them as the difference between, you know, there's a lot of sponsored athletes and they go, oh, you know, you can just have this here or there, and they just kind of brush you aside and promote the physique guys, the bodybuilders, and then they don't really give it a chance. And it's nice that GAT's actually, you know, put it out there and they're putting an emphasis and they're actually using you in the equal light as, you know, big name bodybuilders like that. And it's showing that the fan appreciation, you know, the fan feedback and the amount of, you know, exposure it's getting them is just as much, you know, with the different market, different look. So hopefully that just leads to more opportunities, more companies, even, you know, if CAT wants to pick up more people in the, you know, similar fashion, that just more opportunities for everyone. So definitely strongman forward.
Exactly.
It was honestly kind of like a risk for them to do that, because most companies don't. You know, there's MHP, and that's basically that's it. You know, other companies will give you product or whatever, but yeah, it took a risk and signed a strongman, jumped into a whole new market, and now it's working great. You know, we go to the booths and everything, and everybody wants a picture and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
and hopefully in the future it will work for more strongmen. As long as people are keeping themselves in the right light and we just keep working forward, then I think it definitely will change a lot with the future. There's not just one company for everyone now.
Right, exactly. And we won't mention that one company since they're not a sponsor here anywhere. But what's that, Cal?
Yeah, I think that's another good thing to go over is what do you think other athletes should do more of to actually get in a position like you have been, and actually not only when given an opportunity by a company like GAT to be supported, to actually fulfill their end of the deal, which I think a lot of athletes really, they just think that they should lift because you deadlift 900 pounds or 800 pounds or whatever, that you should get money and free stuff and your travel paid for without actually contributing back. So what have you done to kind of help them back and put yourself in this position, and what advice would you give to other people?
For advice, I thought about this a lot, and I talked with you about it a lot, Kalle, and a couple other people. It's weird. It's just a very rare question. Most people don't even think about what's their marketability, what's their reason for being signed. They think if they get a certain number, that's what it is, and it's not. There's good examples, but I don't want to insult people. So, you gotta look at yourself and think, what about me is marketable? What about me is, something that could sell product, could get attention? What about me works? What about me is popular? What about me catches people's eye? And for a lot of people, it can be, your strength. It can be how strong you are, how well you do this, how well you do that. You can have a look. You can have several things. Whatever is your thing, and you have to promote that yourself. You got to push that for free. Most of the time, for a very long time. Most people, it takes a while, and you've just got to keep putting it out and putting it out there, and get as many people as you can to buy into your character, your person, and who you are, and then sooner or later you'll start to get certain things, and people will talk to you, but even at that point, you've got to be smart. You've only can take responsibility for being a sponsored athlete from companies that you really want to represent.
Right.
When I was first starting out as a pro, I got offers from companies, and the only real money one that I got offered was from a company that it made its living off of talking trash to other people, and it's run by a guy who's never done anything in the sport, but makes everyone else feel like they're lowly nobodies, and so I turned them down. I told them no, I didn't want to do that. I've got nieces and nephews that just look up to me, and everything I do, they mimic. There's 26 nieces and nephews that I have, all within 5 miles of me. And so if they saw me doing this or doing that or talking like this, then I'm responsible for that image being in their head, that Uncle Bobby, which is me, that's what's cool to be, So you can't do that kind of stuff. You've got to hold true to your character, and you got to realize too, if you're worth something, then you've got to get that. If you're worth whatever, say you feel like you're worth $100 a month, and you truly feel that that's what you're worth, and someone comes up to you and offers you nothing, they want to offer you exposure, they want to offer you whatever the other word they want to come up with, you're going to have to stand up for yourself and say no. You can't just take everything. Taking handouts from people isn't going to get you anywhere. It's going to get you free protein, and then you're going to get dropped as soon as somebody else comes along. Now, of course, there are certain times when a supplement company wants to talk to you and they want to give you free supplements, protein and other stuff or whatever, and they just want you to represent them, and it's kind of like a starting basis. And yeah, you should do that if that's what's right for you. But If you're an elite athlete, or if you're marketable and you've got a following, you've got people that you feel, enough people behind you that you feel you're worth something, and somebody wants to offer you nothing, you're going to have to say no to that too. Every single one of us demanded what we were worth from the beginning of this sport till now. We'd be in a whole different era. Strongman would have way more than just one show on TV. We'd have way more than one company that's mainlining athletes, and then a new company now that's about to take over. And it would be a whole different sport. We'd have kids growing up wanting to be strongmen. We'd have everybody like, my dad does this or this and that, and we would be an actual legitimate popular sport instead of the little niche that we are, because they can go to some guy who will come to the gym and break his back for you and do this and do that, and you just give him nothing. We've got pros who pay to go to competitions, professional strongmen who pay to go compete. They spend their money to go compete as a professional, and that's got to stop. That's got to stop with the competitions, with the supplement companies, with everything else. You're going to have to demand what you're worth, or we're worth nothing as a whole.
It is something that has been of a hot topic discussion in the past few weeks between myself and Dion, and I will suffice to say that change is on the way. It may be a little slow, but change is on the way. And I completely, for all the reasons you just stated.
Dion is doing a lot to grow right now. Though in the past it's been real slow, and who's to say why? I have no idea. I hear rumors and this and that, but Dion is growing. It's obvious. You guys have this radio show now. Information comes out a lot faster. And different things. She's dumped a lot of dead weight, and it's nice. It makes me feel good about the future of the sport because of what she's decided to step forward and do. And I applaud Dion for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I can speak from a standpoint of knowledge that things are improving, things are changing, and I'm happy that I'm a part of it, especially at this point where I'm helping affect change, and that's my goal, and that's been my goal this whole time. No matter who I was with, previous company or working with Dion, besides having a continuous cough, the idea was to affect change and make it a better run, better understood by not only by the public, not only by the athletes, but by potential sponsors and advertisers, and bring effective change for everybody, so that the sport can grow the way we believe it could and should grow. There's a lot of naysayers out there, but I think that given the right set of circumstances and the right tools and the right people, that effective change could come.
Yeah, and honestly, Brian,
the way I see it is,
anybody worth their salt looks at you like you're a pioneer with this, because it's changed ever since RX Muscle. Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, I completely. Go ahead.
The last show, yeah, I'm sorry. I understand. You can say it. But ever since the last show came up and you started making more awareness and pushing that, and then showing people, like, people are interested, people want to hear this. Ever since that kind of started happening, and you started going to shows and promoting it, and all of a sudden it just started growing, and a lot of this has definitely got to be attributed to you, because there wasn't much give and take on the rest of that show. No offense, but it definitely, a lot of this came from you. So I think everybody right now, from about me and Adam Shearer era and down, owes you a hell of a lot of thanks.
Wow, I didn't expect that at all. Thanks, Obi. I'm a little verklempt over here. I said...
Kale. Sorry, Kale. Every time Kale wants to say something, I'm like, shut up.
What were we going to say,
I'm
Kale?
used to it. This is no different than real life.
Ah.
I don't remember. No, it's just the same thing. I think, me and you, Obi, we've talked about this. Who knows how long we spent talking on the same subject. And it's nice that years, ever since the start, you're like, what? You'd ask me, like, when you're first starting out, and I've always tried to keep, up to date on everything. like this? Why is it like that? And it's like, I don't really know. But, I think no matter what, like, there's a lot of naysayers out there, but they say this isn't going to work, Strongman will never do this, but why the fuck aren't you at least going to try?
Exactly.
Why, as you as an individual, why aren't you going to go out there and try to portray Strongman in a positive light, try to grow the sport in whatever way you can? Sorry, someone's driving up my driveway, you can hear my giant dog. Like, just, why aren't you going to do what you can do? And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but I'd rather invest my time and be positive about it and try to get something done, even if it's minimal in the end, than just sitting around and, just complain.
I mean, if the worst
That's no way to
thing
live
you
life.
did, if the worst thing you did was work your butt off and try to make it better for anybody else coming up after us in a sport that we love, then honestly, what have you lost?
Yeah. No, and
you can't. There's nothing wrong with having passion.
No, and and equally, I'm learning more and more about Kalle and the things that he's doing, and it's just a perfect complement to what I'm doing. And I think the more that I've kind of digested this, it just makes sense to put the two of us together in this platform, because he has this knowledge of this over here, and I have this knowledge of this over here, and putting them together and adding Dion to the equation, I think it's a win, not only for the ASC and the NAS, but for the athletes and the fans and everybody. It's a win-win, and I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah. When I first saw you guys got teamed up, of course I was excited because both of you guys are good friends of mine. And I just realized I forgot, I meant to text Dion and say, Dion, freaking great move right there.
I'll make sure she knows later tonight.
I'll text her after this and I'll tell her to listen, so
good.
She knows that in mind. But honestly, just like you said, you guys complement each other perfectly. Kalle's obsessed with learning about the sport ever since the beginning, and you with the travel time and the time you spent around, checking stuff with guys and being in the action and all that, and it's perfect. Honestly, I'm really excited about it.
Good. Thank you for all the positive words, Robert. Makes me happy.
Yeah. Just edit all that stuff out.
Thank you.
That way people still think I'm a tough jerk.
You just look like one. Completely different. What's next for you?
I think
it's up in the air. I've got some really awesome stuff going on right now, and I'm not allowed to talk about it. So, but really freaking awesome. Some stuff that nobody in the sport's ever done.
Cool.
And it's gonna be big, really freaking big.
Cool.
And, right now, it's possibly going to Canada on the 4th or 5th and competing up there.
Hold on. You're not going to do America's Biggest Loser or something, are you?
No.
I'm joking, but I was just trying to think of something that nobody's ever done, and that seemed like the obvious paradox.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough to call Robert a good friend of mine, or I guess a lot of people could say he's lucky enough to call me a good friend of his.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah, I'd like to think that I taught him a lot of everything I know, but I'm real happy with how he's progressed. The thing is, he's still kind of green in the sport, just good, and the progress he's made over the years just attest to the kind of person he is and how much he believes in himself.
Yeah,
and most of all,
I would say he hasn't been doing this long. I mean, you're right. He's relatively new.
Well, yeah, that's one of the topics that I guess we'll cover on the next time he's on. Is the first time, like, we covered the first training session that we did together.
Right. I
think we want to cover we actually signed up to do a contest about 2 weeks later. He just like, you want to go to Idaho? I'm like, all right, let's go. And we sat in a car for 11 hours, and we got plenty of stories about that, about the phase, and me almost missing weight because of it, and et cetera. So definitely a lot of good times together. And he should shows an example of how other people should carry themselves. That he actually interacts with the fans. He's active. I think some people might think that he's overconfident at times, like some of the pros, but he's just confident, really, and how he's, and you can see the things that's led to him with, sponsor with being part of Team GAT, and because he's showing companies that he can express them in a positive way and get them exposure, and that's really what it comes down to. If you want to get sponsors, is you have to be able to give back, because it's not sponsorship's not a privilege; it's another job,
Right.
and you have to treat it as such. So,
Yeah.
really great. Really glad to see that he's having all this success, and it's nice that it's only the beginning. But I will stop washing his balls and hyping him up. You can do the same if you want to find Robert. You can. He's Robert Oberst on Instagram, Twitter. I think his Facebook fan page is Robert Oberst Pro Strongman. So
Right.
go to those links and check him out. Give him a follow. Tell him you liked him on the show. Let him know how you feel. Or if you don't like him, he'll just block you. But I probably like him.
Yeah, no, he's nothing not to like.
No.
No.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
but yeah. Moving on. Did you see the Arnold Brazils coming up this weekend?
Yeah.
On April 25th and 26th.
When I was looking at the list of characters, it reads a list of who's who and who's not who.
Right. Yeah. There's the usuals you'd expect. Then there's people.
Yeah.
They always have to throw a local in there, which
Right.
makes sense, and it's
Yeah.
good at least that the local athlete gets some exposure on a big stage and be
Right.
around everyone and be a part of it.
Right.
Because that's the only way you're going to have other local athletes see it and show that there is somewhere that they can aspire to be and grow that sport and make it bigger in that area. So it's not a bad thing if someone's just kind of there to show up.
No, not at all. Now, I got a question for you. Now, the Zydrunas Savickas, Half-Lord Bjornsson, Krzysztof Radzikowski were the big names. Lori Nami, who's...
Ryan Shaw.
Well, that's my question for you. I don't have confirmation Shaw's going. In discussions I had with Dion, she never mentioned his name, only Mike Burke.
I saw a picture he posted on Instagram, and he's in Rio.
Oh, you know what? I posted that picture on our website. I forgot that I put it there. Mike wasn't in the picture, just he was with Christoph and Thor and Irvin Katona. But
I don't think he's there for Carnival. So
yeah, that's the safe bet, or the riots that are going on in the slum area, wherever they're at in Copacabana.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he's going to compete.
I was excited to see Irvin Katona because he's one of those guys that can just show up and do some serious damage. And we haven't seen him in probably 2 years now. I know he had a pretty significant injury. So I'm happy to see his name show back up. And I saw pictures of him. He looks great. He's in really good shape and he's big. And then just to kind of round out the list, Danis Zaguris from Latvia, and who did I miss? Marcos Ferrari from the local from Brazil.
And Lori Nami from Estonia, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I missed him. Sorry, didn't I?
Yeah.
He the cough is still here. It's a group of 9, which I don't know why they didn't wind up with 10. Last year they only had 6, I think, but they considered it. Yeah, they considered it more of a demo than an actual competition, I guess. Although
it was only 3 events last year.
Yeah, well, it's only 4 this year.
Okay, well, again, that's more than last year.
Step in the right direction.
Almost a full show.
Yeah, Ilka Kunin, and I always mess up his name, is the head referee for the show. And he does a lot of stuff with the Strongman Champion League and a lot of stuff over in Europe. So he's a super fair guy. Been in the game for a very, very long time. But this one, they're doing this one kind of... go ahead.
A little different, where it's kind of 2 competitions but the same one.
Yeah.
Where I think on Friday... it's part of Strongman Champions League, but I don't think it counts towards the actual points.
Yeah,
Could be wrong, but
that's the way I read it too. It doesn't make any sense why, but
yeah. Then they have a deadlift, Atlas stones, and then a log press for max on Friday. The winner gets a special motorbike and prize money. The total of $12,500 in prize money just on Friday, and that's part of the Strongman Champions League.
Right.
And then on Saturday, it's separate prize money where they're competing for, that's the dumbbell press.
Right.
And they're competing for a nice watch and about $6,000 in prize money that's available just in the dumbbell press.
Yeah, that's the Audemars Piguet, and it comes in this beautiful wood box with this cute little motorboat, teak motorboat. I don't get it. It's on ironmind.com, a picture of it. But the motorcycle, I'm actually interested in, and there's not one of these guys. Maybe the Brazilian guy might fit in it. It should be 1,000 cc. It looks like it's a Triumph Bonneville, but a new one. shaped into a cafe racer instead of the upright standard that they would normally do, and it's called the Brutal Edition. It's kind of cool. Go to ironmind.com, you can see a picture of it. There's a couple articles about the show there.
Maybe Thor will throw it up on his shoulder like it was the tires at Worlds.
Yeah, and he'll just check on it. It'll be his overhead luggage, and he'll just put it on the plane.
Yeah, what do you think about deadlift Atlas stones and log lift? It's pretty hard to bet against Adrunas on that first day.
Exactly. I don't know if it was designed specifically for Zydrunas or if there was another idea in mind. I don't know, but so you got to deadlift the Atlas stones and log lift. I mean, Atlas stones, that's Thor. And you would assume that he's going to win the deadlift. Shaw certainly gave him a run for his money. He just ran out of attempts. So maybe it depends on how they structure their deadlift. Maybe they do a last man standing or something instead of because they have more time than they do.
I think it was for max last year. I'm not 100%, or it was really heavy for reps, but one where no one got over 5.
Yeah.
Not 100% sure, but I remember it was like a standard bar. It might have been slightly elevated on tires. I'd assume it'd be a similar setup since I'm sure there's not a ton of strongman equipment in Brazil.
Yeah, well, I would assume that they probably would do tires only because it's a signature for the Arnold, and to do a standard from the floor kind of detracts from the strongman and makes it more into the powerlifting general gym arena, I guess.
Yeah.
And I don't know what log. I have no idea what log they're going to be using either, which plays into it. Always plays a factor as well.
Yeah, log lift for max. So there's not much of a factor though.
Well, I don't know. Zydrunas has struggled with that Austrian oak with that longer log. He doesn't always do as well with it as opposed to Brian and Mike Burke have they give him a run for his money.
They're catching up, but he did pretty good with it at Arnold though.
And
4.
Yeah, and Radzikowski too is no slouch with that.
Yeah, we get that tricep tear at Arnold, so
yeah.
Not sure how healed he is.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. But I think all in all, I think it should be a really good show, and we'll have results of that, of course, next week after it comes on. And the plan is to get Mike Burke on. We have a couple words with Mike Burke about his what he's got going on in there and what he thought about Rio.
Yeah, definitely a lot to talk to him about. It's definitely an interesting experience. Wonder if they got helicoptered everywhere, because that's the only real way to get around.
Well, with the riots in Copacabana, you never know. It's Rio's not a fun place right now. I'm guessing, but
so we don't have Marcos Ferrari booked.
No, not yet. I know you're heartbroken because I think he's only weighs maybe 210 or something.
Yeah, maybe I should be there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, next year. We'll make you number 10 next year. A couple of things announced. Of course, I'm a Highland Games guy. I love the sport and try and stay abreast of what's going on. Norway is hosting the 2014 International Highland Games Federation Amateur Highland Games World Championships, June 28 and 29 in Andoy, Norway. Scott Hutchinson and Duncan McCallum will be representing the U.S. Looking forward to that. There's a lot of really great Highland Games that happen here in the U.S. that the women's nationals, was it women's, what was it? Jocelyn Davis and went and competed, was just in Phoenix just 3 or 4 weeks ago, and so it was. There was a lot of really good stuff going on, a lot to keep up with. I'm gonna try and keep on top of the bigger shows, and of course, we'll have Amanda Ballou coming on to talk to us about Highland Games happenings around the country as well.
Yeah, speaking of Highland Games, I don't think it was last weekend, but the weekend before. This girl, Brittany Pryor, she does powerlifting, and I think she did a
Strongman too. I read that article.
Yeah, she almost threw the weight for height 20 feet.
Yeah, she just missed 20.
She just missed 19, and I guess 20 is the record, but she had enough height for 20, 21.
Yeah, she
but just doesn't have the arc, the technique down.
Yeah, she couldn't get it to turn.
Her first contest ever. So
yeah,
she's a former track athlete.
Yeah, she's a stud track athlete. She's a hammer thrower, and when you look at her numbers comparatively, all her numbers except for things like her stones were both world. Her stones were
really good.
Yeah, both stones were top 3 world. Both hammers were top 3 world. Both weights for distance were top 3 world. She won her very first event in women's A. She wins 5 out of 9 events.
Yeah, but she still got third, I think.
Yeah, because she
overall.
Yeah,
I think where it was is she lost points in the weight for distances. They weren't bad, but they weren't good. They weren't.
Yeah, the heavy she didn't do as well.
There were some good girls there.
Yeah, the lightweight.
Like Heather McDonald.
Yeah.
And I forget the other girl. Sorry.
Yeah, no, the 14
that actually won. We should probably talk about her.
Yeah, but she's definitely a girl to watch, and she's stud. So it'll be interesting to see her develop. Kind of girl that'll show up at the Arnold next year and really take everybody by surprise.
Maybe in both.
Yeah, they
strong woman.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if she chooses to go both directions or if she's just going to stick with Highland Games.
Yeah, the girl got second in the heavyweights. The strong woman. She's a stud. She could do Highland Games too. She's a former track athlete.
Mm-hmm.
Can you help me out on the name? I'm trying to blank right now. I feel bad. I know who you are. You brought. I mean, she brought cheesecake to the house we're staying at Arnold. So.
And you did. So you know this person, and you still think, man, you should feel really bad right now. Do you feel bad? I'm pulling it up right now. Don't worry. I'm gonna save you. I'll edit part of this out so it doesn't look like you forgot her name for that long.
Girls have been accusing me of this isn't the first time I forgot someone's name. So.
No, really? Come on.
Yeah.
No.
Funny story. Actually, how I met my wife is she came up to a bar and she said, "Do you remember who I am?" And I had that thought in my face. I'm like, this night could go really good if I get this right now, or I'm fucked. And I didn't remember right at first, but you start playing that in your head, like connect this. She came with A back, and then I got it. So, if I didn't remember her name at that split second, my life would be a little different right now, probably. So
it worked out for you in the end, is what you're saying.
So I remembered someone's name, a girl's name, when it really mattered.
Beth Burton?
Not that it doesn't matter right now.
Are you talking about Beth Burton?
No, that's the girl who got first at that Highland Games.
Oh, I thought that's it. Oh, I have. You're not. In what place did she take it at the Arnold?
Second in the heavyweights.
Oh, I don't know because I wasn't there. I was covering Highland Games, so I didn't actually get to see it. Can't help you. Sorry. And Beth Burton was the woman who won the Highland Game this weekend.
She won it in Vegas too, right?
Yeah, 16.5 points. Brittany Pryor was 17.5, and Heather McDonald with 23. And Brittany probably struggled with the caber too, because that's something that's unique into itself and takes time to develop.
She got third in the caber, I'm pretty sure.
That's not too bad.
I don't think she ever touched any of this stuff before.
Yeah, I think she had. This is just her first competition.
Okay.
Yeah. So, while you're digging your memory, a couple other things. Eric Dawson, one of the newest ASC heavyweight pros, is in Uzbekistan this weekend representing the U.S. at the World Strongman Federation event. More than $10,000 in U.S. prize money. And I went through their website. There's some interesting people. Everybody from Brian Shaw to Jesse Marundi, Carl Gillingham, Dave Oslin, Jason Bergman, Kevin Nee, and a few others from the U.S. have all competed in the World Strongman Federation. And Dion had let me know about this event, and saw pictures have been trickling in on Eric's Facebook page with his trip, and I think he's competing tonight as we speak on where are we at now? I've lost track. Wednesday night. On the 23rd, so he's competing, and hopefully we'll have a few words from him next week as well after he returns back to the U.S.
Definitely. I got the name, by the way. I'm sorry. It's Daniel Curry.
I know that
yes. One. It's just I'm bad with stuff like that. I draw a blank. But yeah, Daniel Curry's a former track athlete, and she's barely been doing strongwoman. She got second at the Arnold. She attempted 255 log after Kristen Rhodes did 250. And she cleaned it like 4 times, like it was nothing, which was impressive. She needs a little more, practice with the actual implement.
Sure.
But yeah, sorry, Danielle.
Don't take it personally. Kalle had to ask me my name when I called him earlier today. And what do you know about the Mid-American show coming up too? They just announced. You have the notes on that?
Yeah, what's it? Aaron Mullen's running it.
Yeah.
It's yeah, they just released the events this week. It's going to be a pro show with heavyweight pros and lightweight pros. I think it's on August 2nd, and it will have a load medley, Hummer tire deadlift. I assume that would be for max. Cake toss, a press medley, carry and drag, and a stone series. So the events aren't like final. You know, you can pretty much guess about what they're going to be, but it's not exact. There's no weights.
Right.
Or anything like that.
Now, is this the Masters Pro Show as well, or is that Chad Coy's show? That's a different show.
Yeah, that's Chad Coy's show. This is also an amateur show. So if you're an amateur out there and you want to go meet some of the pros, because I'm sure some are going to come out and actually watch them compete and do the same events as them. The only thing is the amateurs are not. It's the same events for the amateurs. They're just not going to be doing the cake toss. Is the only thing.
Gotcha. And I would think that, guys like Carl Femmel, Mike Caruso, Tomas Rodriguez, guys from that area of the country would probably come out to this kind of event.
Yeah, I guess it's at Core Fitness Club in Mooresville, Indiana. You can just, if you want to find more information on the event, you can look up the event pages. The 9th Annual Mid-American Strongman event page on Facebook. There's also links in the upcoming contest on Strongman Corporation or AmericanStrongman.com for the entry form, I'm sure.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, I think that wraps us up for the weekend. You got Robert's contact information out there, right?
Yeah, we did at the end of the interview. Also, another thing, there's a new official American Strongman Instagram. We will be reposting your own training or competition videos and photos that you post on Instagram.
Cool.
The handle is American Strongman. So if you want to, go follow that, start to make it big. If you want us to make, see your videos and photos so we can repost them, just tag @American Strongman and hashtag American Strongman. I'll try to search that as often as we can and repost some of your stuff. Get your name out there a little bit. Try to show the world. And this isn't just pros. This is every level. I don't care if you're a novice. If you have a cool photo from a contest or training or you do something, we'll repost it and try to grow the sport from the ground up, get people noticing.
Cool. That's cool. I have an Instagram account. I have never posted to it. I'm
going to unfollow you.
I struggle keeping up with so many things. So it's good that I'm glad that Dion put this told me. He says we're putting together a good inclusive team of people that want to do the right thing, and by giving everybody responsibility in different directions, all of it coming together is just going to make the core that much better, that much stronger, that much bigger, and
definitely,
and not only be able to bring you better information like what we're doing, but more importantly, putting together better shows, more pro events, and really watching out for the athlete and being able to get back to the athlete for supporting the organization. So,
and also just getting news out, from the shows at the Platinum Plus, at that pro show, hopefully a little bit more updates, so you really know what's going on.
Right.
Live updates on all the social media so everyone can follow along. Definitely, follow our Facebook, American Strongman, American Strongman Radio, also American Strongman Corporation. Follow all those links so you can stay up to date on everything that's going on, and there'll be a lot more info coming out and in a timely fashion, and try to make it so at those the bigger shows, when everyone's sitting around trying to look, that there's not info on just the top three, and it's actually coming from the source, not this buddy's training partner is texting his friend back home, who's then putting it on Facebook, and it all it's all in one location, everything that's going on. So.
Yep, something I talked to Dion about today too, that I will be doing at every show that I attend, where I'll be emceeing. We will be doing interviews. So if you're an athlete, and we're starting in Shreveport, so in Shreveport, if you win your event, I'm going to come find you and interview you. So I don't care if you're bloody, chalky, sweaty, vomiting. We're going to get it all on film, and we're going to do a quick interview. But we're going to have 2 microphones set up so that the local audience that's there watching can hear our conversation, as well as being able to create the video. So all that video information, I'll be doing all the editing, putting the videos up not only on the strongmancorporation.com website, but also on the YouTube channel. And you'll be able to find all your information. Send it out to your friends, share it, and it'll be kind of a cool new addition. And again, creating that timely content that's been missing in the past.
Definitely.
Yeah. So,
it'll be good. Might be there in some capacity. We'll see. Depends on which show. I'll definitely be in San Jose.
Good.
Helping out as well, because it is like an hour from my house.
You better show up.
Yeah, I would be there anyway, so I might as well help.
Yeah, I'll be there early Friday, and ironically, just a personal note, I have 2 cousins that I haven't seen since I was either 6 or 7 years old that live in the area. And so I've contacted both of them. They friended me on Facebook a couple years ago, and I told them I'd be in town, and they and their husbands are going to come into town Friday and sit and have dinner or a cocktail or something and hang out. So I have a very small family, so when I travel, I do try to reach out and find the ones that are still existing and say hi. But yeah, kind of a cool thing. I think you got anything else?
Just make sure you can find us on SoundCloud. It really helps if you click the follow button. It's American Strongman on SoundCloud. They have an app for Apple and Droid Network. In the Google Store.
Yep.
Download the SoundCloud app. Hit follow. Hit the like button on our episodes. Hit the repost button. Numbers get sponsors. So it's good if we have views, but if we also have all those other numbers, people love numbers. That's how you sell stuff. So help us get sponsors, which will hope in turn get sponsors at shows. So people can stop asking questions like, why isn't there a pro 175 strongman division? Because there's no money, and there's no point in being pro if you're just doing it for a title, in my opinion.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, find that American Strongman Radio on Facebook. Actually, it's American Strongman Radio on SoundCloud. Sorry about that.
It is.
Go to strongmancorporation.com. You can find the episodes there. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Let Kale Lift. Kalle Beck on Facebook, and send us an email. We got actually official emails now, right, Brian?
We are official.
So we got it's Kalle at AmericanStrongmanRadio.com. Send me an email there if you want to be a guest on the show. If you just want to ask questions, you want us to look at any of your videos, send them. You can send it to both of us, Kalle at American Strongman Radio and Brian at American Strongman Radio, and that's Kalle with 2 L's, Kalle. Brian, Bryan.
That's right, Brian with a Y. And promoters too. This is something I really want to stress. We're going to have a couple promoters on in the next few months. In particular, one of my favorite gyms, without exaggerating, in the whole country. I'm just drawing it. It's called, the name of the gym is called Destination. It used to be Metroflex Plano when they were in their old building. Now they're in the new building. Owner Greg McCoy, his much lovelier girlfriend, Tana, IFBB Pro bikini competitor, Tana Eubanks. They've got a great facility. Gorgeous, gorgeous facility. What's cool about it is the facility's huge. It's MMA friendly, strongman friendly. It is. They have a Gasp and I think it's Better Body Clothing store attached to it, and then they have a nutrition storefront attached to it as well. It's all, they call it the Destination because you can get all your stuff in one place. For strength athletes that don't think you can wear bodybuilding gear, I own Gasp Gasp clothing, and it fits. It's meant for guys like Branch Warren and Big Ramy. Their clothes fit big people. So, but it's a cool place. Greg McCoy is going to come on and talk about his NAS show, the show of strength he's doing in June. So if you're a promoter and want to come on and talk about your show, this is the place to do it. Not only are you going to draw friends and fans and all that, but you're going to draw the attention of athletes who are like, oh, I'm ready, I can come do this, and you're going to get some extra numbers in your show. And that's one of the main reasons we're doing the show, is to get information about promoters and athletes out there to everybody, so that everybody has a better chance of finding something that works for them.
And not only, people also just, fans want to hear about what happens at every local show. I like knowing what happened at local shows, if something happened or events coming up. So
yep.
just share.
Yep.
You like talking about it, other people like to hear it. So tell us what you got coming up.
Exactly.
What happened.
Yep, exactly. I think that's it for tonight. Thanks to all the promoters, fans, and athletes from around the world who support our radio show. Over 1,300 likes on the Facebook page. Keep them coming. Share it. If you like what we do, please share it so that we can get our word out to more people. If you don't, send us an email. Tell me we suck, and that's okay. We need feedback, positive or negative, because the show's about you guys. We just happen to be the voices behind the microphones. Thanks to Sally Ann for all of her continued support through all of these changes. Of course, to the ASC president, the El Jefe, so to speak, Dion Wessels, for bringing Kalle and I this opportunity to help grow not only her brand, but help grow the sport. And like Kalle said, please help share the show with your friends via social network or plain old word of mouth. You can find links to the show, again, on SoundCloud, the strongmancorporation.com website, also through the Muscular Development Strength Forums, and of course, like and share our Facebook page at facebook.com/American Strongman Radio.
And I think the best way to promote us is you just want to get in your car, turn the bass up, roll all your windows down, blare the speakers, and just drive up and down Main Street in your town. That'll get everyone tuned in.
That'll get everybody tuned up, maybe. I'm not sure about tuned in. Yeah,
that'll probably stick to social media.
Yeah, I think we're better off that way.
I mean, you can play it in your gym.
Yeah, you could play it in your gym. It's an MP3. You can just stream it through. Yeah, play it in your gym. It'd be motivational. You know what? If you're going to play in the gym, Kalle, you got to promise you're going to sing something next week.
No, I only sing after I deadlift. And only if John Anderson's holding the microphone.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to get John on the air, and we'll coax you into singing.
You want to reenact it? Have you seen that video?
No.
Okay. At the San Jose Fit Expo in 2012, they had a 231 class, and I did it. And they had the old, the IFSA deadlift with the all shiny and nice.
Yeah, the big the wagon wheel kind of things. Yeah.
So it's like a 16-inch pole. I think it was like a little under 600 pounds. I think it was like 560. I don't know. I don't remember. But so it's for reps, and I think I did like 13. And I won that event. And then John came up to interview me, and I sang R. Kelly to him, to the crowd.
Did you pee on him too?
He was. I think he was uncomfortable enough. He was sitting there in his tight bedazzled jeans trying to yank the microphone away from me the whole time. But I kept yanking it back, and I'm like, I'm not done yet.
Nice.
It's on YouTube.
I'm gonna look it up as soon as we hang up.
Just type in IFSA bump and grind.
Actually, it's John's butt in bedazzled jeans that I really want to see. That's what I'm there for. I'll keep the volume up too so I can hear it. But,
maybe I'll just post it up on the Facebook page.
There you go. Share it with the world.
Again.
Exactly.
Right on.
All right. Well, cool. Kalle, great job. Thank you very much. Again, everybody, feedback, please, Brian or Kalle with 2 L's at AmericanStrongman.com or AmericanStrongmanRadio.com. Our email addresses. Please give us some feedback. Like it, don't like it, we don't care. Send it on the Facebook, make it public. Tell us how much we suck. Tell us how much you like us. Doesn't matter. We need it both ways. So until next week, our guest will be, we should have a word from Mike Burke as well as Eric Dawson about their trips to Rio and Uzbekistan. Who do you think is going to have better time, Mike in Rio or Eric in Uzbekistan?
When I was in China with Mike Burke, he seemed to be enjoying himself, and he had a almost cut off finger, and he was still competing. So I think Mike Burke. Yeah,
Mike's hard pressed not to be in a good mood.
I mean, he'll probably have a really good time if he comes home with a motorcycle.
He's not going to fit on it, but hey,
He's got kids.
Yeah, well, that's true. All right, cool. I think that's it for us tonight. Until next week, we appreciate you guys. For Kalle, Beck, that guy over there in Monterey, California. I'm Brian Hildebrand from Grumpy Pants Incorporated, corporate headquarters in Lubbock, Texas. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Bye.